congrats. When you look back on your career, who were the people that come to mind, coaches, families, that got you here?
There's probably too many to mention, to be honest. Obviously, starting as a young fella in Cannes, my old fella, bringing me up and down to training, the coaching and advice that I got there, onto school then in Praise and back to Cannes, and then kind of into Munster from there. I've been lucky with the people I've come across in close quarters that have kind of mentored me from a young age, and given me the love for the game, which is still very much evident today.
How are the emotions?
Yeah, look, trying to keep them at bay at the moment. Most important thing is Saturday for me. It's obviously a special occasion for me and my family, but it's the most important thing is the match and the performance on Saturday. So that's absolutely the focus at the moment.
Jerry?
Peter, congratulations. Is there a part of you that maybe thinking back to post 2015 World Cup is a little bit surprised you got 200 caps?
I'm still kind of surprised. No matter what year it would have been. As I think Pete said, there's 10 people of all the people who have made a cap for Ireland have got 100 of them, and it's almost a little bit embarrassing with the names that are ahead of me, to be honest. People I grew up following and supporting, hugely inspirational characters, and to be the 10th, I don't know, it's going to take some time to settle in. Certainly nothing I ever expected or dreamed of. We all talk about having dreams, but that one was way off the radar, to be honest.
Is there also a part of you that doesn't want too much fuss made with it?
Oh, I would love to be inside there now having a cup of tea with the lads. This would be the last place I'd sit in front of, to be honest with you. But obviously, I've got some texts already. I'm hugely grateful for everyone's best wishes and that. But I want to win for the lads at the weekend. That's the main thing.
You're welcome. Shane, then Murray.
Peter, have you done anything differently as you've got older? Like, is there any major change you've made to how you prep or how you train, or anything you can tell us?
Yeah, look, I've spoken to a few, I suppose, guys who have either finished or at the elder stages of their careers, and you can't do as much as the young guys do these days. Some of the extras you'd see guys doing afterwards and pre-training. I just can't physically do them, and so I need to use the sessions as diligently as I can to get as much fitness, ball play, whatever I need to do. I need to get that in session really, because obviously I'm pushing on a bit. So it's changing those little few dynamics, stuff in the gym that I need to change. That a few years ago I would have been flying, but you just need to manage the body a bit more, and the main thing for me is the Saturday. It's about getting yourself prepared and ready for test matches on the weekend. So there's certainly adjustments that have to be made, and I've had some good guys who have looked after me through the years, S&C wise, and obviously coaches, and as I said, people who take care of me.
Murray, then.
Congrats, Peter. A lot of people have said you're playing the best rugby of your career at the moment. I don't know if you think about it that way, but what do you think it is about this environment setup that's getting the best out of you?
I think it's the players predominantly. I think players and coaches. The standard of training that we're at during the week. I'm sure Josh would agree is of a level that you can't but learn and get better. And our coaches are opening their eyes up to what potential that we have at times, which is sometimes not that you put a ceiling on yourself, but it's stuff that you mightn't have had on your radar that is possible. And I think this group of players particularly, never cease to amaze me, the quality of rugby that they can play. And when you're around it as much as I've been lucky enough to be around it, you know, without doing much, you're picking up stuff, and you know, we're about doing a lot, so it's easy to pick up some good tips.
Alex?
Yeah, congratulations on your milestone. You've achieved so much in your career, but Ireland hadn't done it in the World Cup previously. I just wonder how much of an opportunity you view this campaign as.
Yeah, look, it's our be all and end all. You know, I'm not going to say that lightly, and it's the same for every team in this competition. You know, every team that makes this competition is in this country to win it, and we're no different. And certainly, you know, I've spoken about already, people talking about us, you know, not being able to get past certain hurdles. You know, this is the biggest hurdle of our tournament so far, and that's the way we're considering. You know, it's been an incredible build up and lead in, and we've had some good performances, but you know, we're considering Scotland as you know, the team they are, an incredible threat to our campaign and our journey, which we want to kick on it.
No danger, there's nothing beyond this game.
No, there's never a danger to that.
Yeah.
Hi Peter, congratulations. Just to follow up on the earlier question, does it take time to kind of accept that you can't do what the other lads are doing because maybe the natural instinct is to try and match them or do more to get in ahead of them?
I suppose initially there is a bit of it, but you know yourself, it's not about obviously training is hugely important, and you know, our standards are through the roof, but you know, it's about if I can be physically able to play the weekend and be in the best possible nick, then you know, I'm normally in a good place. Whereas if I'm going chasing stuff down that you know, a lot of times you know, you have tendencies in bigger weeks to do more because it's a big week and we've got to get through more, and it's something we've learned over time, particularly with this group. Probably less is more at times, you know, to keep the juice in the legs, and I suppose that's an analogy that I've used a little bit more as I got a bit older.
Okay, Murray?
Josh, sorry to be the one to put you on the spot, but what have you learned from Peter over the years, and how much does it add a little bit extra? What is a big match anyway?
Yeah, it's unbelievable to be able to play with someone like Pete. We looked up to him a huge amount when I was kind of growing up, and makes you sound very old growing up, but when I was in the academy and that kind of thing, and trying to get in and play with Leinster, and Pete was probably the last person you wanted to come up against. See, drives incredible standards, and he's such a leader, and plays with such passion. Always comes up with really big moments, so he's always the last person you want to see on the pitch opposite you. And then getting to play with him, then with Ireland, he brings such leadership, and always turns up when he needs to, and I think as well as that, he's a great bloke as well. He's a great man to have around the changing room, and yeah, he just adds so much to the group, and I think there's not a single person in the squad who wouldn't be absolutely thrilled to see him getting his 100 caps, and hopefully celebrating it with a win.
Simon?
Just wondering, you've seen a lot of long-standing teammates reach this milestone, which alongside Johnny, Connor and Pete in recent months. Have you learned anything about what they do on the day? Because Pete was saying how much he was hoping it being all over, so he could relax it in perhaps. Have you thought about how you're going to react on the day?
I'm just trying to prepare as it is another test match for me, you know. Hopefully get all this stuff out of the way as early as possible, and you know, it's certainly going to have a sit down and think the odd time I'm sitting on my own having a coffee and have a quick think about it. But you know, as I said, you know, there's going to be. I'm hoping there's going to be bigger moments in my career than this one, you know what I mean, and hopefully in the near future. So my firm focus will be on Saturday and my performance in the game.
Thanks. Last couple of questions. Peter?
Josh,
Have you been practicing your line-out throwing? And more seriously, when you look back to that performance in Murrayfield, was the problem solving that you did on that day, was that an important staging post in the development of the team, do you think?
The line-out throwing, I always kind of mess around practicing. We do the odd bit here and there, just preparing for scenarios like that, I guess. It wouldn't be every training kind of thing, but I suppose the odd week might throw a couple. But yeah, I mean it's a testament to the group that we've had looking back over the last 3-4 years, we've had loads of situations where we've ended up in pretty difficult situations, and we've managed to have a few people playing out of position, or maybe a man down, or whatever happens. We've had a lot of adversity, people dropping out late, getting injured in warm-ups, that kind of thing, and the group's always managed to stay calm and not to panic and still come up with performances. So I think it's probably a testament to the preparation of the group, and I think a lot of it comes down to as well the work of Gary Keegan as a sports psychologist as well. We do a lot of work on remaining calm and dealing with what happens in sport, which is unpredictable things. So I think that's all part of what helps in those situations.
Derek?
Peter, Rassie Erasmus did a wonderful thing directly post the World Cup final last time out. He said he would definitely take his medal to Anthony Foley's grave. You've spoken very eloquently there, in almost new order of those who've gone before you. Has Anthony come to your mind at all? Here you're in Paris. He was a long time teammate. It was a very traumatic time for the club. Has he come to your mind at all on this World Cup?
Yeah, look, it was funny. Myself and Johnny had a conversation about it. I think it was on the way to the South African game, actually, about sometimes it is weird to be in Paris and think about Axel and what happened. It's certainly has obviously an incredibly sad memory for particularly that Munster team that were in Paris that week, and Johnny spoke about some. I'm not going to go into it now, but he made a couple of lovely gestures to the family afterwards. But it's Axel's always somebody that certainly is in my head, on a very regular basis, and as you said, when you come to Paris, it's certainly he'd certainly come to mind of the fondest memories that we had together, and the amount of inspiration that he gave to not just me, but to lots of young kids in Munster and Ireland. As I said, very fond memories.